Welcome to ESG On Tap. We're here to celebrate all the great work that's been done in ESG over the last few years, to look at the improvements and the opportunities going forward, and also to look at challenge areas and ways that we can improve.
So what better place to be than the Occidental Hotel, where people come, talk about their achievements, talk about their success, and then also brainstorm how we can do it better.
In this podcast series, Anthony and I interview business leaders across different verticals, and we learn so much valuable information, things that most people don't know about ESG.
So what's next? Lauren's going to pour me a beer and we're going to start talking.
We have with us Yajur Trivedi, Principal at Simplyai. Hi Yash, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Now Simplyai, can you tell us a little bit about the business?
Absolutely. So our organization started about 4 years ago. We're predominantly experts in automation, data and artificial intelligence, and how we can club all these emerging technologies into one to really drive efficiency and great use cases in organizations.
So what are some of those use cases? Because AI is absolutely topic du jour. What are you seeing in the market?
So some of the emerging technologies and use cases that we're really seeing in AI in particular work more around the predictive modeling and predictive forecasting for businesses. Now that may be leveraged against multiple different disciples in different areas as well. So environmental impact being one of them, and also operational impact as well, just to monitor how their employees and resources are tracking, and also from a utilization perspective. And then taking that data and then driving insights and actions from it, leveraging automation and artificial intelligence clubbed with machine learning algorithms. So essentially anything anyone does in an organization gets tracked, gets monitored. From there we then drive insights and actions from them and give them those hours back into their business.
So let's look at this with an ESG lens. You did mention that we have environmental and operational and social measurements that you've been putting some automation around. Let's start looking into some examples. Let's start with the E. What are you actually doing in that space?
Yep, absolutely. So what we've seen with a lot of our customers as well is everyone's very interested in the ESG aspect, and one of the biggest pain points we've observed and what we often get called for is data collection to report on the E element alone is quite significant and quite cumbersome as well. It requires a lot of manual handling of collection of information and then also doing analytics on that. So sometimes can be quite a long journey for them to actually get the results they want. So how do you accelerate that? We leverage automation to do that manual handling and data collection, and then feed that through machine learning algorithms and models to then do the analytics and predictive modeling as well.
Can you share some examples of how you've made this work for companies?
One of our clients is a large waste management organization, and we're automated their reporting, particularly from a regulatory compliance and environmental impact component. Now, the main focus is to identify the wastage that's being produced all throughout the organization in different business units, and how do you then take that insights and then start delivering actions on them. So essentially identifying the waste and then aiming to reduce it through a single platform or technology stack, which is then reducing their impact on the environment itself, and also providing transparency with this reporting organization-wide to show that the ESG initiatives done by the organizations are being met and being observed by their internal and external stakeholders.
And have you been able to measure the financial benefits of this? So
essentially, typically we do the manual exercise of understanding what would the organization undertake and what resources, technology is required to do this exercise manually. So understanding the costs behind, if this was to be done manually, how long would it take, and the hours that go into it. Now, then flipping it on its side and then leveraging automation to accelerate and expedite that and reducing the footprint from resources required to do this, and then calculating the hours that are going to be saved that would have been done and spent manually and now are being automated.
Do you find that companies are being able to let go of resources because they've put in automation technology?
That's not the term we like to use, but absolutely, there's hours going back into the business, significantly where there are, let's say, in certain financial services organizations as well. They may have large contact centers from a more social point of view that are getting lots of calls during times of distress or just general Q&A. So having robots essentially come in and assist the team, where it takes away a lot of that manual handling, it can often open up areas of reducing that footprint in that team alone. They can repurpose that time essentially and do more value-adding activities which can have a more significant impact on that ESG initiative.
So it kind of sounds like a no-brainer. Like if a company is going to invest into ESG, they may as well automate so they can actually save money and save time on their resources. Now, I think question that a lot of companies would be asking is, Is this expensive, and is it going to take a really long time?
You'd be surprised. And we'd like to ask that same question back to them, that if you were to do this manually, is it going to be expensive for you, and would this take a long time? So typically leveraging lots of different technologies and tools that are going to accelerate the data collection and the analytics, and then leveraging AI models to do the predictions and do better analytics on how we can reduce our emissions, our environmental impact, and then relaying all that with, again, the help of automation. So taking away the manual handle points between each one of these sections, and then using automation to do that reporting back to the business, internal and external stakeholders, just to provide better transparency.
So we've talked about the E in ESG, and a lot of companies are using technology to help in that space. But have you actually encountered the S, the social aspects?
Absolutely, and a lot of the times that's some things that lots of businesses struggle with. How do we get more social, and how do we get out there and be a bit more, communicate better with our customers in particular? So one key technology that we see being used quite a lot, chatbots in particular, and AI-powered chatbots, which are capable of, one, reducing that footprint of the team, but it also adds a bit more of a personal touch, given leveraging generative AI in today's market. We can get a lot more personalized and gives the end user, and particularly the customer, the flexibility to ask any question. It's no longer about, hey, are there some questions about our business? They can go as far as asking, what is your environmental strategy, if I'm a customer who's conscious about how this business operates and is looking after the environment. So those chatbots can be very flexible and really take away that legwork from human beings essentially helping out there.
So what about the G? What are we doing for governance in the AI space?
So essentially we want to set a base framework, the governance framework, and typically the things that we'll look for that target from that framework are things like increasing your auditability, reducing that risk profile as well. And of course, at the end of the day, the main aim is to improve your customer experience and also your internal employee experience as well. So all in all, reducing risk, giving complete auditability into the whole exercise, and being compliant with any new regulatory changes that may be coming up.
Okay, so Yajur, let's look at some other industries. So where are you seeing technology and AI improve, like the supply chain environments?
Yep, absolutely. So that's a great question. Supply chain in particular, as we know, predominantly used to be very manual based. Leveraging automation and AI in particular to do automated warehouses, smarter storage solutions with better storage density, which is in turn reducing the space that is being utilized by said organizations, and also the footprint that they're going to use to move SKUs that may be sitting in these supply chain organizations as well. So smarter storage solutions, better energy utilization as well. As we know, supply chain leverages lots of large warehouses. So automating these warehouses and then being conscious of the energy requirements that are going to come out of this. And then how do you be more sustainable by leveraging more renewable practices like solar power and whatnot.
So you just spoke about the supply chain sector. Now, looking at agriculture and farming, are you seeing any technologies there that are assisting those industries with their ESG footprint?
Yeah, absolutely. So particularly in farming, so where what used to be a manual exercise, farmers nowadays are able to utilize online digital sales portals that will in turn allow them to essentially advertise their services and their products, things in particular to do with livestock. And that then in turn reduces the need to transport the livestock in the physical world, and therefore is reducing the impact it has on the environment and also the sustainability element.
So you're also looking at the non-for-profit sector. What are you seeing in the technology advancements that actually are helping in the non-for-profits?
For disability services, the sort of products that we see being used a lot typically revolve around IoT, so Internet of Things, and the sort of technology that's really assisting people are things like facial recognitions, as they're coming up to a space and a door automatically opens for them. Gesture recognition, they could potentially have certain set gestures that are being monitored by a spatial camera in a 3D space, and they could essentially be waving their arm to trigger an action that could potentially call someone for assistance. And also voice recognition and voice commands, where someone may not be physically able, then they can do voice commands to essentially have that assistance be provided to them. So a lot of these products that are available off the shelf need to be adapted for the individual's needs as well and customized. So a little bit of assistance goes into customizing and tailoring that solution for them to meet their needs.
The future is looking really bright
Yep.
for us using AI and new technology to assist us with our ESG. What do you think is next?
Absolutely. Technology is only going to help accelerate a lot of this. And as we know, there is a bit of an opportunity cost for organizations to be environmentally more conscious about their impact. So the only way to accelerate it, then from our perspective, is leveraging more automation to take away that manual handling, that data collection, leveraging AI models to do that predictive analysis, and also at the end of the day, looking at your general data and leveraging smart data solutions and data science to essentially analyze those patterns and trends of how your emissions are being tracked, and also how would you reduce those carbon emissions, and then also having an offset component in your models. So it is very exciting for the future from technology.
Thanks so much for being here.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.